the grapple off and put the bucket on so we can move some firewood. This is our lovely Massey Ferguson 2705. Love it. Couldn't be happier with it.
You weren't filming any of that? Time to take some wood up to the back porch. We have one, probably close to 8 cords of wood. We still have all that to split in the back. I think what we're going to do is just load this up. We've had this Massey probably 2 years now. It's been about 2 years. Probably one of the best investments we made on the farm. It's what helped clear everything that you see right here. It cleared it out. You couldn't even walk back here. So Without this, we would probably still be clearing this land. We cleared all the front, we cleared out behind the garage, the chicken coops, tilled the garden. We have the tiller and the brush hog and all that stuff. It's hauling this wood around. Right now we're going to use it to take wood up to the back porch. But I think I need to go over this thing. So far, it's not let me down once. It starts every time. The thing runs. I don't have any problems or issues with it. I do beat it up a little bit. I'm a little rough on it. So there's a couple things I'll show you that were my fault. Has absolutely nothing to do with Massey Ferguson and everything to do with the way that I abuse my equipment. This is the 2705E. It's the economy model. I looked at Mahindra, Massey, John Deere, the Kubotas. Actually, I was going to get a Kubota until I saw this one and read all the specs on it. This thing lifts more at the pin and the bucket. It lifts more off of the back. The thing is just a beast and a workhorse. It doesn't have the diesel particulate filters, so it doesn't have to do the regen and all that kind of stuff. It basically has a catalytic converter on it. So it meets all the Tier 4 compliance stuff without all the extra crap that's on some of the newer ones. Very simple to use, very easy to operate. Has the quick connect, skid steer quick connect on the front, so I can change buckets and implements. Basically either pulling up a lever or connecting and disconnecting some hoses. I do have the grapple, so I have a third function on the front, and that was put on basically the third function's right here on this lever, and it's that little button. It opens and closes, and then they put has its reservoir for the oil there, the hydraulic oil, so it works very nice. I didn't have to change out anything else. The as you can see, I mean, it's not clean, but so far I've broken the turn signals. Now these don't come with the 2705E. They're on the upgraded model, but the first time I broke the turn signal, I glued it back together with epoxy and stuff, and I went and bought these brackets from my Massey dealer, and I just installed them on this one. I guess it would have worked had I not run into some tree branches and broke the turn signal again. You can see on the back I do have our chipper, and we're cleaning up the property, and I have to go around the perimeter of the property and clean up all of the scrub trees and the scrub brush, and I'm going to do that this winter, and we're going to throw it right in here and chip everything up. Hi turkeys. But this thing will lift, I think it's close to 3,000 pounds or just over 3,000 pounds, 2 feet back from the 3-point hitch. The only thing I haven't purchased yet, which I think I might, is the quick connect for the quick attach for the back for the 3-point hitch, so that way I just have to back up and hook up things. But you can see I broke this one too. The little turn buckles or turn knobs that hold the ROP system up, I've already lost one of those. I changed out the toolbox because the one that comes with the Massey is just a little plastic thing, and you can't hold anything in it. It's worthless. Let's see, I hit a tree stump with the step. That's bent. There's a skid plate underneath that I put a small bend in when I was brush hogging, and there was a old T-post that I didn't see and backed right over that, and that bent the hell out of everything. I did put some mirrors on it. I just bought a couple of magnets and a set of mirrors that you would use on either an ATV or some kind of buggy or lawnmower or something, and the magnets were big enough that they bolted right into the bracket, and then they're just held on with magnets, and they're strong. They're like 65-pound magnets. You really have to pry on them to pull them off, but I keep these folded up unless I'm out on the highway, and I need those because I do drive on the road and I can't see anything behind me. So I did get a couple of those. But turkey. But other than that, I've really not had any issues with this. I'll probably go over a whole in-depth review of the Massey. It's garage kept, so it's in decent shape. It stays in the pole building, and but so far we like it. I can't ask for a tractor to do any more. Would be nice to have a cab on it with some heat and air when it's 19 degrees outside, but it seems to work all right. Forgot a couple things. I bent that bar, lost the yellow cover to this one. And that's about it. We're not really any scratches or anything. But I tell you what, you need a tractor. The price wasn't bad. I can get all the specs and put the lift capacities and the lift height and all that kind of stuff in the description below. But I'll tell you what, it's four-wheel drive. Now, I did not get a shuttle shift. This one, or a hydrostat, this is a shuttle shift. So you do have to push the clutch in. It's got forward and reverse right here. Has 4 speeds, high and low, so it's 8-speed. 540 PTO, 4-wheel drive, rabbit and turtle, pretty simple. You fill the gas down here so you don't have to put the gas up and get it spilled all over the hood, which that's another nice thing too. This is metal. It's not plastic. These are the only pieces on here that are plastic, the little trim pieces. Everything else on this thing is metal. The whole axles, cast iron, huge steel frame. The rear end in this thing is massive. It's just, it's what a couple people refer to as the utility tractor on steroids. This thing is just under the main utility tractors, but all the capacities are still there. And the reason it's affordable is because you don't get all the bells and whistles. You don't get all the fancy stuff, the fancy seat, the enclosed cab, and the hydrostat actually takes away from your horsepower, and it takes away from the PTO horsepower. This thing is 49 engine horsepower, and I believe it's in the high 30s on the PTO, almost 40. It's like 39, somewhere around there. I'll have to check it and double check the specs. I forget what everything was, but comes standard with 2 of the hookups in the back. It's just the way it comes. It came standard with the skid steer quick connect too. That was nice. I didn't have to get that extra. But basically, change the oil, clean out the screen that's in front of the radiator, because I do get a lot of dust and stuff here, especially when I'm cutting the fields and brush hogging and stuff like that. And even here in the dirt in the summertime, it gets really dusty. But basically, that's all I'm doing is just maintaining it and greasing it. All the Zerk fittings and everything. I do have the back tires loaded with beet juice, so that helps add to the weight. But I'll tell you what, this thing has picked up some massive logs, and it was pushing it to its limit. I couldn't pick them up far. I only got them about a foot or 2 off of the ground, and it was pulling the back end up, even with the brush hog and stuff on the back to add about 700-800 pounds to the back. It was just lifting the tractor up, but it picked them up and moved them. So I know they were over 3,000 pounds, so it's done its job. It's done everything we've asked it to. I couldn't be happier. And one thing I could say, whatever size you need, get a bigger one. That's my only regret, is that I don't have, not that I need it here, we don't have thousands of acres, but it would be nice if I decided to do some haying to be able to have the horsepower that would run most of the hay equipment I need. And this would probably do it. I mean, it's basically 50 horsepower tractor, so it should do pretty much just about anything I would need it to do. But if I wanted to run a big round baler, I don't know how much PTO horsepower I would need for that. I know the older tractors, I could run square bales, I can run the rakes, tedders, the hay binds. I could do stuff like that. That wouldn't be a problem. But if I decided I ever wanted to till up these fields and plant something in them, I'm not sure how this would do. But for what we're using it for here, just to lift, pull, haul stuff around, and clear out woods, it's a godsend. It beats doing it by hand. So we're going to go ahead and get some wood. I still have that little pile to clean up. We have this pile that needs to be cleaned up and cut. We do have a chipper, or a log splitter. Beats doing it by hand, but these are not tiny. I mean, that's my hand. You can see how big that is. All those are decent sizes. I have to roll them over and split them laying on their side, because I can't pick those up. I had to use the tractor to come get them and move them over here once I cut them. So there's at least another 3 cords of wood in there, if not more, probably 4. And there's some stuff over here that can still be cut up, and the rest of it will either be burnt or thrown on a pile and just left to decompose so we can use it for something else. And the brush pile in the back, we'll be chipping that up with the chipper on the tractor, so when we open up the area here, you can see some wood chips right there. We're going to put the pigs, we're going to open up another pig pen over here and maybe do something in the center, but we have to get this done soon, because we only have 3 months until she's going to have piglets. So we need to get a farrowing hut so that she can go in there to have her piglets, and set it up so that the little piglets have a place to go to stay away from her so they don't get smashed. So I'll need to build a new hut, probably one a little taller than these, so that we can walk into it easily, make it a little bit bigger and a little bit deeper. And we have plenty of T-posts and plenty of panels, a bunch of hog panels. They're cattle panels, so we'll have to run some other fencing on the inside of it to keep the little piglets from sneaking out through the holes. And we'll put electric on it as well. But we have enough of those. I'm not going to go buy hog panels when we have the cattle panels here. We'll just use them and put a couple of gates in and get them all set. So we have an exciting spring coming up.